I know, I'm late, right? This chapter came out yesterday. But yesterday I was at a graduation I had to get up at like 4 something, 5 something in the morning. I was gone at like 9 p.m. and then today I had to go to court because of the accident I was in a month ago. I also was on the phone with my insurance and my bank all day today, so better late than never, right? Chapter 1083. Get the title. The title is The Truth About That Day. Really interesting chapter. I did a prediction video a few days ago talking about what I thought would happen in this chapter. Well, not this chapter necessarily, but all of Egghead, but I did bring up the stuff that was going on with Sabo. Some people were scared that they were going to gloss over or wouldn't get it for a little bit, but we actually got it in the very next chapter, and I'm going to talk about that in my review today. But if you guys enjoy regular anime content, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. With that away, my name is Potential Unleashed, and let's get into the reaction. So, Sabo, he said at the Reverie that they accomplished 3 of their goals. Number 1 was to destroy the Celestial Dragon symbol, which is the claw mark of the Celestial Dragons. Typically, whenever they have slaves, they end up branding them with that claw mark. We've seen it. Boa Hancock and Fisher Tiger, like she showcased it, was the reason why the Sun Pirates, all of that. And so I think that's very important because it shows like, yo, we're declaring war, that we have no respect for the Celestial Dragons and want to get rid of them. The second thing that they accomplished with freeing Kuma, I mean, we know everything that happened with Kuma going back to Mary Joa, but still they did achieve that goal. And thirdly, they destroyed all or limited all of Mary Joa's, the Celestial Dragon's food supply. So the Revolutionary Army, they had some influence on not just 1 or 2 nations, but 12 of them. And now that they are trying to go against or have uprisings for those who go against the Celestial Dragons. I believe Ivonkov said, or it might have been Dragon, one of them, I don't know. Somebody in this meeting said that they achieved their goals in 8 of them, turning against the Celestial Dragons, not back them anymore, and that 7 of them are especially doing that. I think they said 1 of them isn't because the country Lelucia, that was the one in chapter 160 that got nuked, wiped off the face of the map by Emu. I find it really interesting because now that Celestial Dragons are, a lot of people are starting to revolt around them. We know how horrible they are, and even like pirates, they know not to mess with them, except for Luffy and Zoro and the Straw Hats. But a lot of pirates don't mess with them. Even the civilians, like the Navy, the Celestial Dragon could be doing something severely wrong, and really hurting somebody or doing something that they really shouldn't. But because they have that stature of being the gods or being someone of an important figure, nobody stands in the way. And so now that people are protesting, going against them, it just shows that, hey, they're not scared anymore and they want their freedom and they don't want the Celestial Dragons to rule over them. And the food supply, Celestial Dragons, they already are really picky about, not doing stuff that the common folks do. Hence why they have the little stupid little bubbles around their head, because they don't want to breathe the same air as everybody else. And so Ivonkov said, yo, now that they've destroyed these preserves that people are going to be eating, the Celestial Dragons are going to experience poverty and hunger like some of the other nations, because, well, they've never experienced anything like that. I also want to mention that Dragon, he said that the fighting is going to really get started now that the God Knights are going to be put into play. We don't know anything about them. I assume that they are the Celestial Dragon's best fighters, or the world government's best fighters, or I don't know. I'm not thinking, I think they're pretty strong, but like, I'm not necessarily sure where they would rank. I mean, like, there's so many like power, like hierarchies in One Piece. There's Yonko, there's Admirals, there's Vice Admirals, there's Seraphims, there's Warlords, there's Revolutionaries. And it's very hard to, without like seeing them in action, where to put them. But I do want to mention that in the little image that we got, one of the silhouettes, it looked like Shanks. A lot of people are saying, hey, is it Shanks? I mean, he had ties to the 5 elders when he went to go speak to them about Blackbeard. Is Shanks really an op? Is he someone that is, I've seen a lot of people talk about, is he the God's protector? Or, Buggy talked about Shanks's potential. So maybe people saw something in him. I don't know. The God Knights, I'm really interested to see who they are if we already know some of them, or if, you know, there's also people who could be double agents. We've seen what Sword is. We've seen X Drake, how he's really a Marine, that, you know, is Sword, so he's a pirate technically, or he's technically still a Marine, all of that. Really interesting that, you know, there's still more and more people that we're going to have to face in the final war. Because the rest of the chapter, it was us going back in time to the different things that happened in Reverie. I want to mention that, you know, everybody sparked, or Sabo became the Flame Emperor because of the things he did in Mary Joa, killing Cobra, even though we know he didn't do it. I think it's really cool, Sabo's ideals. He's at the point where, hey, I'd be willing to be framed like this, or take whatever happens if that means it ignites or sets a flame. I found out, or he said a fire, something like that. Cool little fire pun, Sabo. Well done, well done. But he's like, I'm willing to accept all this if this is what sparks the rebellion to go against the Marines. And well, I'm on with them, because it's at the point where people were so scared to stand up to the world government. Now there's cross guilds, and now we have the revolutionaries out here pulling strings. So now people can do whatever they want against the world government without feeling like they won't be protected by someone anymore. Now, a while ago, it was mentioned that the revolutionaries went against Ryokugyu, or Green Bull, and Fujitora. Now, this is interesting because a lot of people are like, well, the revolutionaries, how the fluff did they hold off 2 admirals? And even in this manga, they made reference talking about 2 admirals should be nothing, or should be like sufficient enough to handle this situation, even with the different captains being there. Like, I know Karasu, we found out his devil fruit, that is the suit fruit. There's also a Logia, and other members were here as well. But the reason why the admiral struggle, and it was mentioned in the past, but like we actually get to visibly see it, is that because the celestial dragons were being targeted and different marines and stuff like that, the admirals were fighting a defensive battle, trying not to get which I kind of find funny, because in film Red, I know it's not canon, but they didn't really give a fuck about civilians then. And in Ohara and the stuff about the ancient kingdom, the world government didn't care about civilians. So it's funny how they don't care about them, but in this situation they're fighting because civilians are in the way, and celestial dragons are as well. Because we saw Green Bull, he was having trouble you know, with his devil fruit ability and fighting, because he was not only trying to hold off a revolutionary, but trying to limit the damage that happened to Mary Joa. Fujitora couldn't even use his gravity like that. He wanted to send down a meteor, but he couldn't, because he knew, you know, well, it would be stupid if he did that, because it would leave so much damage to Mary Joa. Another thing, old members CP9 like Caulifla, Jabra, and the others, they were here as well. Want to mention that Sabo, he was looking for, the different slaves were released, he was looking for different keys for those people. But we did see a little bit about Cobra. I will talk about him slightly, but I want to jump back to Vivi, because Lucci, he's sitting up here, he's like, Vivi, I'll protect you. And Vivi's like, what the fluff? He said, I don't want y'all, I want Garp, because she trusts Garp because of his relation to Luffy. Luffy is a pirate, but at the same time, like Garp says, I mean, if Luffy's a marine or a pirate, as long as he follows a sense of justice, and, you know, he's fine with it, because Luffy will steal, he'll eat people's food, do all that stuff, but Luffy genuinely does not do like criminal things that typical pirates do. Same with Dragon. Like Garp, he probably would have put a stop, if he really wanted to, he probably could have put a stop to Dragon a long time ago, but he knows that, you know, Dragon, he's following a good sense of justice, that isn't anything wrong with the people. And so I agree with with Vivi, because she made mention like, yo, you know, you guys say you protect me, but if a celestial dragon comes, y'all ain't gonna do nothing. As shown at the Reverie when Shirahoshi was about to get taken by Charlos. And I think Sabo mentioned earlier that he's attempting to try to take Shirahoshi again. So Vivi's like, well, I don't trust nobody that isn't Garp, because y'all really aren't gonna protect me. We also saw Cobra here as well. He's having a meeting with the 5 elders. Cobra, he has a lot of influence, especially among the leaders. So I wonder what he's going to talk to the 5 elders about. It might be about Emu, might be about pirates, might be about trying to get rid of the world government. I don't know. I still don't know why he was assassinated. We'll probably find that out in the next chapter. Really good stuff though. Wasn't necessarily action, a lot of story that we needed. I'm pretty happy about that. Really excited to talk about the God Knights. Stay tuned for that. Next video will probably be out tomorrow. Got a buggy video that I made. I still haven't like recorded and edited. I wrote the script, sorta, and typed it up yet. But anyways, so stay tuned for more One Piece content. Also, I haven't mentioned this to you guys, but I will be doing a Berserk read, watch through live stream sorta on Twitch. That'll be in the description below, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know how you guys feel about this chapter in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, the notification bell so you can never miss out on a new video from my Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. It's on the screen in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.